A recent report from property website Zillow highlights just how unaffordable it is to live here in Austin. It would take 5 full-time minimum wage jobs to rent a typical 2-bedroom apartment, and that's higher than any of the 50 largest cities surveyed nationwide. That doesn't, though, mean that rent is increasing elsewhere. There's a new report that finds just how much that average American is spending on rent. The result has set a new milestone for the housing crisis. Our Sally Hernandez talked to the reporter behind the article for The Hill.
All right, Gianna, tell me a little bit about this research that went into this article having to do with renters and just how many people in America are renting.
Yeah, so the latest report from Moody's Analytics found that the average American now spends at least 30% of their income on rent, which is a threshold that hasn't been met in the over 20 years since the agency has been measuring the metric. It really marks a new milestone for housing affordability in the country.
Did you look into some of the reasons why?
Yeah, so there's 3 key reasons behind the threshold being met. One is that incomes have not kept pace with rent increases. So during the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of renters were working in industries that were negatively affected by lockdowns, and that really took a hit on their incomes. The second is that there have been fluctuating mortgage rates. So people who would be buyers are kind of dissuaded from buying the home, and has pushed them to become renters for longer periods of time than maybe they initially planned to. And then the third reason involves a shortage of affordable housing units available. So since the 2008 recession, there's just been a lag in construction, and there just aren't enough units available for renters.
And that's something that you also looked at over at the Hill, or some of the solutions. Anything surprising on that end as far as when we could start to see this change?
So builders are currently working on a record number of multifamily units right now, which would be more conducive to renting. So that boost in availability of affordable housing could make a dent in the long term, just as there are more units available for people to take advantage of. Significant income boosts could also make a difference, but on the flip side of that, landlords could charge more for rent as incomes increase. And then some experts we spoke to said that, it would take significant stress on the labor market and spells of unemployment to really drive down rent increases. And that's not likely going to happen in the near term because the job market is so strong at the moment. And as there is demand for these units, that could really drive up the price.
Yeah, I thought you all did a really good job kind of making sure people knew how renting and the soaring prices affects the economy, and that impacts all of us. So again, thanks again, and we'll look for more information over on the Hill.
Thank you.